So Michael Steele thinks he can broaden the appeal of the Republican Party by saying that same-sex marriage hurts small business, even though the American wedding industry is worth $70 billion a year, most of it going to small businesses. What the... It's next, but first time countdown's number 2 story, tonight's worst persons in the world. Would have been me if I'd missed that. The bronze to Harold Jackson, the editorial page editor of the Philadelphia Inquirer, now trying to pass off his paper's inexplicable hiring of Bush administration legal fig leaf creator John Yoo to write self-fig leafing columns for the newspaper on a blogger. Unfortunately, most of the critics of our contract with you have their facts wrong, but that happens when your information comes from those bloggers who never let the facts get in the way when you're trying to whip people into a frenzy to boost website hits. Except Jackson doesn't cite any wrong facts about Yu's stealth hiring. There was no press release, no article in the paper, just one sentence at the end of a column saying he would appear regularly. Yu is there to justify and rationalize torture, which is illegal. So then why doesn't the Inquirer also hire a mafia attorney so he can write columns rationalizing that it's okay to entomb people in cement and then make sure they're sleeping with the fishies? The runner-up, Sean Hannity, parenthesis, coward, apparently missed another memo from recent American history. Attorney General Eric Holder announced there would be the turnover of U.S. attorneys, typical to the start of a new presidency. Hannity, parenthesis, coward, replied, "Remember how outraged Democrats were when President Bush replaced a handful of his own U.S. attorneys? Now, liberals claim that the prosecutors were unjustly removed for political reasons and argued that President Bush had no right to replace his own appointees. Elections matter? That's your reason? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that considered politically motivated?" Seriously, Sean, it's no longer necessary to say, correct me if I'm wrong. You're always wrong. Of the 93 U.S. attorneys Ronald Reagan inherited, he replaced 89 of them in the first 2 years. Clinton replaced 89 himself. Bush, 88. The start of term stuff is tradition. When you fire 9 guys for refusing to corrupt our system of justice and to try to send people to prison because they're in the opposition party and do it on phony charges of voter fraud that never happened, that's politically motivated and it's illegal. But our winner is Skizix. Sit back, please, because this may be the world record for short-distance hypocrisy.
Policing the net. Now, the reason I keep doing this privacy stuff is trying to protect you. Somewhere along the line in your life, believe me, it's happened to me, somebody's going to come up and start snipping pictures of you.
We're with Fox News. Want to ask you a few questions.
From the O'Reilly Factor. Wanted to ask you a couple questions about the website.
With Fox News, how are you?
You know, if you can, avoid that. You know, nothing good in this high-tech age comes out of anybody intruding on you in that way.
You want to comment on that? Hey, Judge.
Now, you might be able to go after the people who took the picture, posted it. It's a long slog, and it ain't going to diminish the embarrassment.
Can you leave me alone for just a second? That's truly disgraceful.
I beg your pardon? Disgraceful?
So I just want everybody to know, privacy in America, gone.
And now I'll ask you to leave my private property or I will call the police. Please leave my premises.
You guys are done.
Technology means we don't have any privacy at all. It's a shame.
And it's your fault. According to ThinkProgress.com, he has now sent his stalker producers out there to ambush 40 different people while trying to protect your privacy. But revenge often comes swiftly and from some odd places. Somewhere along the line in your life, believe me, it's happened to me, somebody's going to come up and start snipping pictures of you. Friday night at Yankee Stadium in New York, on the 100-foot-wide high-definition screen on the scoreboard, a shot of Donald Trump sitting in the crowd. He got some mild booing. Then they showed the guy next to him. Skizix. Wild, sustained booing. Appropriate for today's worst person in the world.